Welcome to the ultimate kettlebell swing checklist. It's a 3-part series. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So you're probably watching this video for one of two reasons. One, maybe you're new to kettlebells and you just wanna learn the swing right. You wanna not hurt yourself, not get injured, and you wanna swing really well so you can get stronger over time. Or maybe you're a coach and you just wanna hone your coach's eye. You wanna get better at seeing what your students are doing so you can get them swinging safely and strongly more quickly. So if you fall into either of those categories, this video is for you. All right, so we're in part 1 of the series, where today we're gonna talk about common kettlebell swing mistakes that happen in your setup and the hinge. But just so you know what's coming, in part 2, we're gonna cover common swing mistakes that happen in the hike pass and the legs and feet. And then part 3 of the series is gonna cover kettlebell swing mistakes in your standing plank and your arms and shoulders. So we're gonna go deep. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of the parts of the series. I'm gonna be demoing everything today with the 2-arm swing, but just so you know, everything that we're covering is also applicable to the 1-arm swing. Heads up, if you have not learned the kettlebell deadlift yet, you gotta do that first, all right? The deadlift is a strict prerequisite before you start swinging. So check out the link below, it's a free video, learn the deadlift, then we'll get back to swinging. Okay, so the first problem is when we set up too far away from the bell. And this is an issue because you can see here, the bell is too far away from me, and so my weight is forward. My weight's in my toes, and that means it's really hard for me to load my glutes and my hamstrings, okay? And we need to load our glutes and hamstrings because that's what powers our swing. Another problem with being too far away from the bell is you can see my shoulders are disconnected. They're kind of up and shrugged, okay? We don't want to have a shrugged shoulder at any point during the swing. And the last thing about this is it makes it really hard to root through my feet because, again, my weight's in my toes, my weight's forward, so when I start swinging, I'm gonna have a really hard time rooting through my whole foot and getting my weight in my heels, okay? So, really easy fix for this is to just drag the bell towards you, all right? So, here's the bad setup. I'm just gonna take this bell, drag it toward me, and sit my weight back. If I were to let go of this bell, I would fall backwards. That's the feeling that we wanna have when we set up for the swing. So, again, hinge back, grab the bell, drag it towards you a little bit, weight is back, you're thinking long collarbones, anti-shrug those shoulders, and you're nice and loaded in your glutes and hammies so that you can do a beautiful swing. Problem number 2 with the swing setup, we call it hunchy turtleback. It's not a good thing. It looks like this. Okay, you can see that my spine is curved. My back is curved, and we don't want that. Having our spine curved, a non-neutral spine when we're swinging, is always gonna be dangerous. It always puts us at increased risk of injury, all right? So in the swing, we always wanna have a nice neutral spine. So really easy fix for this is you grab a dowel or a broomstick and you put it on your back like this. So you're gonna hold it with your arms like this, hold it behind your neck and behind your low back. And you can see that the dowel is in contact with 3 points. It's making contact with the back of my head, the thoracic spine, and the sacrum. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna just do some hip hinges with the dowel on your back, and you're gonna maintain those 3 points of contact. So you just get in your deadlift stance, and you're gonna push your hips back, and you're gonna maintain those 3 points of contact. And you can see when I do hunchy turtleback like this, I'm losing the point of contact. The dowel is just floating around in space here. So do some hip hinges, holding the dowel just like that and maintaining those 3 points of contact. And that's really gonna help you find that neutral spine position. And that's what you wanna recreate in your swing. Rushing the setup. Let's take a look at what that looks like. Ooh. Okay. I'm just cringing all over just doing that, all right? Don't do that. The kettlebell swing, and with anything with kettlebells, your first rep is not your first rep, all right? Your setup is your first rep, and your setup needs to be intentional, and you are going through a mental checklist so that you are setting everything up and setting yourself up for success. So don't rush the setup, and don't do what I just did right there. A great drill for practicing an intentional setup is what we call dead stop swings, and that means you're basically re-parking the bell in between each swing, so it looks like this. Nice, beautiful, intentional setup. And you're just gonna park it, but stay in the ready position and swing again. And you're just letting the bell pendulum back right to its starting position. So you're gonna swing, and as the bell comes down, you push the hips back and let it go right back to where it started. Cool, so practice your dead stop swings. Sets of 5 to 10 is great for that, and that's gonna be how you practice a perfect setup every time. All right, so that covers common mistakes with the kettlebell swing setup. Now we're gonna move on to the next section, common issues with the kettlebell swing hip hinge. All right, let's go. Okay, so a straight-legged hinge. Let me show you what that looks like. Our legs are really stiff and we're not letting our knees bend very much at all. And that also makes it so that we're really bending over at the waist like this, okay? And that's just not an athletic position. If you were gonna jump up onto a high box or something, you're not gonna go like this. Okay, that basically completely misses out on loading our glutes, all right? So in the swing, we wanna use that athletic position, which means we have to bend our knees a bit in the hip hinge. We're not going all the way down into a squat with a lot of knee bend, but it's enough knee bend to have it be an athletic, strong position so that we're loading our so that we're loading our hamstrings and our glutes equally, and we can explode into that really nice, powerful hip hinge. To fix a straight-legged hip hinge, there's a really handy drill called the glutes to the wall drill. And we're gonna do glutes to the tree drill today. So let's take a look. The glutes to the wall drill, or today we're doing the glutes to the tree drill, same idea, is a great way to fix a straight-legged hinge, okay? So you wanna find a wall or a tree or something vertical, and you're gonna stand about a foot away from it. And the idea is you're going to reach your hips back in a hip hinge, and you're gonna try to touch the wall or the tree behind you with your glutes, okay? So I'm gonna go back in my hinge. I'm keeping a neutral spine. I'm reaching, and boom, I touched it. Cool, so this is my hip hinge position, and now I'm gonna stand up as if I'm deadlifting or swinging. Same idea, boom, reach back, neutral spine, touch, and go, all right? And this fixes our straight-legged hinge, because if I were to leave my legs straight and not bend my knees and I'm just kind of doing this, I'm just going down, right? I'm gonna have a really hard time reaching the wall with my glutes. But if I add that knee bend in, which is the right amount of knee bend in our hip hinge, shoulders above hips, hips above knees, that's gonna be, I'm touching with my glutes, and then that is our nice, powerful, safe, proper hip hinge position. Another common issue we see with the hip hinge in the swing is the hinge being too squatty. You'll notice that my hips are going really low. I'm bending my knees a lot. It's too much knee bend. And the problem with this is the direction of force, right? When we're swinging, we want to direct our force forward that way, okay? We don't want to direct our force up. And when we start squatting the swing, our body is moving up and down, and so it means the force is basically going up and down, all right? So that's the problem with the squatty swing. We're not trying to go up. When we want to go up, we're going to snatch, all right? But with the swing, force should be directed forward, and that's what our hip hinge does, is it directs our force forward. So the fix for this one, it's also the glutes to the wall drill, very handy drill for fixing problems with your hip hinge. Refer back to that one and that'll fix your squatty swing. Another common problem we see with the hip hinge in the kettlebell swing is overpowering the bell. So let me show you what that looks like. So the problem with overpowering the bell is very similar to what we were covering with the squatty hip hinge, which is that our power is starting to go up instead of out, all right? We're starting to turn our kettlebell swing into a force going up instead of a force going straight forward. And again, that's not what we want. That's the key difference between the swing and the snatch. Swing, force goes that way. Snatch, force goes up, okay? So when you want to go up, just snatch. If you're finding that you're swinging the bell higher than chest level, or the bell is flipping up at the top of your swing, it just means you're overpowering it. When you're swinging, you should be able to dial up and dial down the power of your swing according to how heavy your bell is. And you should be able to make a swing look exactly the same, even if it's a light bell or a really heavy bell, just by dialing up and down that power. It's like a volume knob. So that's how you can fix an overpowered swing, is you just dial down the power, or you can grab a heavier bell. So let me show you what dialing down the power looks like. So that's overpowered. So I'm just gonna bring it down a little bit. Swinging, to chest level. And that's really the sweet spot for your swing. Another common issue we see with the hip hinge in the swing is when people hinge back too early. They're premature, right, on sending the hips back. So let me show you what that looks like. So you can see that I'm sending my hips back in the swing when the bell is still pretty far out in front of me, right? And it puts me in this position, which is sort of not a safe position for our low back. It means we're kind of carrying the weight of the bell in our back, and it basically just robs us of all our power in the swing. So there's an awesome drill that helps fix this from Master SFG Czar Horton, and it's called the Velcro drill. So I want you to imagine you have Velcro on the under part of your upper arm here. So this right here has sticky Velcro, and there's also sticky Velcro right here on your rib cage, so that when your arm comes off your body, it's going to rip the Velcro off, and then when your arm touches your body, it's gonna stick that Velcro. This really helps with the timing of our swing. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna do slow-mo swings, no bell, with this Velcro drill, and I'm gonna tell you what the timing is. So you're gonna get back into your hinge, your hip hinge. You have your imaginary kettlebell. Step one, you just hike the kettlebell, boom. Step two is you're gonna stand up, but the Velcro is still connected, all right? I have not ripped off that Velcro yet. Step three, you're gonna rip off the Velcro, right? And the arms are floating off. Okay, this is the part that's gonna fix your hip hinge. The bell is floating up here. You're still waiting in your standing plank. You're tight, 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 abs, quads, glutes, everything is on, right? And you're waiting in that standing plank until the Velcro sticks again, reconnects, and only then are you going to push your hips back into the hinge. All right, so again, bell is floating up here, arms are coming back, they're coming down, you're not hinging back yet, not hinging back yet. Okay, now the Velcro has stuck, it is reconnected, boom, that is the point when I'm gonna push back into my hinge. Hopefully that helps you with the timing of your swing, making sure that you're not hinging back prematurely, and also making sure that your arms stay connected to your body, boom, until you hit that standing plank, and that's gonna be a really powerful swing and the right timing. Cool, well that wraps up part one of our three-part series, your ultimate kettlebell swing checklist. Stay tuned for part two, where we're gonna cover common kettlebell swing mistakes that happen with your hike pass and in your legs and feet. No dancing feet, people. Cool, so if this was helpful, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, email it to your mom, tweet. Yeah, and we'll see you in the next one. See you in part two. Come, Grace, come. Come, come, come.